Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta in Kathmandu, in Baluwacha, which is the official residence of the Prime Minister of Nepal. And my guest today, the Prime Minister himself, Mr. Prachanda.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a long distance you have traveled from,
really,
from underground Maoist uniform to a black suit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But long distance, but within a short span of time. You know, in a very short time, I came from insurgency to the peace process, from peace process to the Constituent Assembly, largest party of the Constituent Assembly, and the first Prime Minister of Nepal. This is something miracle. Yeah, it is really unique example. All over the world, they can learn from our experience. There are so many ups and downs and twists and turns in the process, but it is a great thing. I think that this kinds of transformation from insurgency to democratic and competitive politics, this is something very unique here in Nepal.
Because our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he talked about this when he first came here. He said, bullet ko chhod ke ballot.
Yeah. उनका जो स्टेटमेंट था वो बहुत इनकरेजिंग था। उनके जो पार्लियामेंट में जो उन्होंने स्टेटमेंट दिया, मुझे तो लग रहा था कि उनका स्टेटमेंट का मोर देन 50% तो मेरे ऊपर ही केंद्रित था।
अच्छा।
वो युद्ध से बुद्ध की ओर बताया उन्होंने, और बुलेट से बैलेट की ओर, और समथिंग वेरी ग्रेट यू हैव अचीव्ड। तो जब पहली बार मेरी मुलाकात मोदी जी से हुई अलग से, वो पार्लियामेंट की स्टेटमेंट तो इनकरेजिंग था। नेपाल में इतना ज्यादा इनकरेजिंग मैसेज तो किसी भी लीडर ने नहीं दिया था, ऐसा था माहौल। उसी समय मेरी अलग से उनसे मुलाकात भी हुई। तो मुलाकात हुई तो पहले उन्होंने कहा कि देखिए प्रचंड जी, शायद आपको कितना मालूम है मुझे पता नहीं कि आपने जो किया है बहुत हिस्टोरिकल इनिशिएटिव आपने लिया है, पूरी दुनिया आपकी ओर देख रहे हैं, ऐसे तरीके से उन्होंने मुझे बताया था। वो सब मुझे याद है।
प्रचंड जी, जब आप अंडरग्राउंड गए, when you decided to take to arms, by that time global communism had already collapsed. Soviet bloc had already collapsed, and everybody had written obituaries of communism.
Exactly.
सबने उसको श्रद्धांजलि दे दी थी। तो उस समय what persuaded you that Maoism is the answer?
I think that when we initiated the war, in the very time of the very beginning, I had some dream and some psychology of revolutionary romanticism or something like that. But later on,
you did not even go to JNU.
Yeah, exactly.
And still you got this romanticism.
Yeah. But later on, we tried to understand the whole development of international communist movement. What exactly has happened and what were the positive and negative lessons we
and
should
why
have
did
to
it
draw.
die?
Yeah, exactly. Why this kinds of situation has been evolved, we should have to understand, and we try to analyze and we try to synthesize the whole experience, and we came to a new understanding that we should have to enter in the peace process. We should try our best to create the atmosphere for the marginalized people. How far we can go, and complete revolution is not possible right now.
तो आज अगर माओ होता चाइना में तो
मुझे लगता है कि माओ होता तो भी ऐसा ही करता। ऐसा ही करना चाहिए।
समय के साथ बदल जाता
वो भी ये कंक्रीट एनालिसिस ऑफ द कंक्रीट कंडीशन इज द सोल ऑफ मार्क्सिज्म। ये बार बार लेनिन और माओ भी कहा करते थे,
एनालिसिस ऑफ
द कंक्रीट कंडीशन इज द सोल ऑफ मार्क्सिज्म,
कंप्लीट एनालिसिस ऑफ द कंक्रीट कंडीशन।
एग्जैक्टली। तो अगर लेनिन भी ये कहा करते थे और माओ भी, अगर वो लोग जिंदा होते तो आज की परिस्थिति दुनिया को देख करके वो भी कहीं न कहीं पीस प्रोसेस कॉम्पिटिटिव पॉलिटिक्स के जरिए ही जाने के निष्कर्ष में आते। मुझे ऐसा ही लगता है।
प्रचंड जी, एक पहले तो मुझे क्षमा कीजिएगा, मैं आपको पुष्प कुमार दाहाल जी नहीं कह रहा हूँ, पुष्प कमल दाहाल जी नहीं कह रहा हूँ, क्योंकि आपका जो फेम है दुनिया में वो तो प्रचंड ही है।
एग्जैक्टली।
तो आप
चाहे
हथियार हो या ना हो।
अनफॉर्चुनेटली नेपाल में ये जो मीडिया है, मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया, वो मुझे प्रचंड कहना उतना ज्यादा पसंद नहीं करता। हाँ। वो पुष्प कमल दाहाल ही लिखते हैं और टीवी में भी बोलते हैं।
इसका कारण क्या है?
उनको लगता है कि प्रचंड थोड़ा रिवोल्यूशनरी रोमांटिसिज्म और रिवोल्यूशनरी फ्रेज आता है प्रचंड में। एक बात तो ये है, इसलिए वो नहीं चाहते कि रिवोल्यूशनरी वो फर्वर अभी रहे। दूसरी बात यह है कि प्रचंड में कहीं न कहीं नेपाल के मजदूर, किसान, मधेसी, जनजाति, दलित, महिला और पिछड़े वाला क्षेत्र की जनता की भावना जुड़ी हुई है। और यहाँ के अपर क्लास वाले लोग नहीं चाहते कि प्रचंड के नाम से फिर सारे के सारे नेपाल के मार्जिनलाइज पीपुल इम्पावर्ड होने की दिशा में, क्योंकि प्रचंड के नाम से कहीं न कहीं इम्पावरमेंट है। मार्जिनलाइज पीपुल को उनको अधिकार दिलाने की, उनकी आइडेंटिटी स्थापित करने की नाम है। पुष्प कमल दाहाल में कहीं न कहीं अपर कास्ट ब्राह्मण का एक वो आता है, इसी के चलते
they keep reminding you of your Brahmin identity.
Exactly.
And they want to tell everybody that he is a Brahmin.
Yeah, exactly. Therefore, there lies the
So, sir, you saw the light that a revolutionary new Maoist republic wasn't possible. Revolutionary dictatorship of the proletariat wasn't possible. And so you moved towards peace process. It was a big intellectual and philosophical change. We still have Maoists in our country. I'm sure you know many of them who are still fighting. What will you tell them?
I think that first of all, I do not want to interfere the internal affairs of any country or any political party.
A revolution is,
but at the same time,
exactly.
Revolution cannot be export, cannot be imported.
Right.
You know, it is the matter of their own unique experience or something like that. But because I have time and again have a serious debate and discussion with the Indian Maoists, you know, during my underground period. Where we have shared so many ideology, political and things, but later on the situation has created that we have a serious ideological differences. Understanding Marxism according to the changed situation, they do not want to understand the dynamics of change that is going on all over the world. And as right now I mentioned that concrete analysis of the concrete condition is the soul of Marxism. They do not want to understand the change and concrete, they do not want to analyze concretely the change that is going on. So there lies the differences.
So on one side is dogmatism, on one side is running dogs of capitalism.
There are so many things.
So what is your advice to them as a fellow comrade?
Yeah, I think that I have a sympathy with them because previously when I was underground, different kinds of interaction I remember even now. And I think that they should have to follow the pragmatic way, and they should, as I have done here in Nepal, they should follow this peace process and dialogue, and in a peaceful manner, we can move forward. I am the example, you know. I came here in the peace process, but with the big political change, tremendous political change. The autocratic monarchy has been abolished, you know. And federal democratic republicanism has been established. This is something tremendous for us.
Right.
If I have not taken this process of peace and negotiation, it could not happen. So
you are telling Indian Maoists also to learn from this.
Yeah, exactly. It is the big reference for them.
Right.
I suggest them to understand the whole dynamics of the peace process that I have taken here in Nepal.
And they can follow the same model.
Exactly. I suggest them to be more pragmatic, to be more dynamic in their understanding.
Because in this situation, there are limitations to what you can achieve through arms.
Yeah, I think that in the given condition, given international, national and regional power balance, it is not possible to achieve everything from bullet, you know.
Right.
And I think that through the process of this transition and through this process of peace, I came to achieve this tremendous political change. This is one thing. And at the same time, I think that I have the opportunity to lead the government, first democratic republican government. If I have not entered in the peace process, this federal democratic republic could not been happen. You know.
Or maybe
therefore,
you would have joined the list of martyrs.
Yeah, exactly.
And not achieved anything. So, sir.
Anyway, everybody should understand the dynamics of change and the transformation we have taken here in Nepal.
So, Prime Minister, this place is called Baluwata. Baluwatar literally means a place full of sand.
Place of sand, yeah.
So, and I think it's very aptly named Prime Minister's residence because the Prime Minister always looks like walking on shifting sands. Because I first came to Nepal as a journalist in 1983 to cover the fall of Thapa government, Surya Bahadur Thapa government, and his replacement by Lokendra Bahadur Chand. Right. And after that, many have been shuffled.
Many things happened.
Kathmandu has more ex-prime ministers than any capital. I mean, you are yourself an ex-prime minister and a current prime minister.
In that sense, we are very rich and
very rich.
Prosperous.
Yes.
So many prime ministers are here.
So why this instability?
We are passing through a very serious historical transition. One should have to note that to transform this autocratic feudal monarchy and to move forward to the Federal Democratic Republic, this one is great, this is a big change. And during this process, everybody should have to understand that there must be ups and downs and twist and turn. Therefore, political instability in this transition to some extent is quite natural. Quite natural. And now we are trying our best to create the atmosphere of stability, and we want to, we expect from the international community, the situation will be created for the political stability, and with this political stability, we want to focus our whole attention on the economic prosperity. Without political stability, it is difficult to have a prosperity and economic development.
So, what is the difference between Prachanda 1 and Prachand 1 and Prachand 2?
Yeah, Prachanda 1, as you asked, this is something. I think that.
In fact, I could have said 3, but 1 we talked about in the underground. Prachand 1 as Prime Minister, Prachand 1.
Yeah, I see. For the first time, when I have the opportunity to lead the government as a Prime Minister, I have a little experience of this multi-party democratic and competitive politics.
Right.
Because I just came from the revolution, from war. Therefore, it is very difficult for me to understand all the dynamics and all ups and downs of the competitive politics. But now I understand the basic law, basic norms and values of the competitive politics. Therefore, I am more confident to move forward and to create the atmosphere.
Sir, पिछली बार कुछ mistakes किया आपने?
ऐसे तो मैं इंटेंशनली तो मैंने कोई मिस्टेक मैं नहीं मानता, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि मेरी अनुभव की कमी के चलते मेरी तरफ से कुछ मिस्टेक जरूर हुआ. सबसे ज्यादा तो मैं मानता हूं कि 12 पॉइंट अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिल्ली में हुआ था. गिरिजा बाबू और मेरे बीच में जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग हुआ, गिरिजा प्रसाद कोइराला और मेरे बीच में जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग हुआ था, अंडरग्राउंड रूप में ही था, वो फिर भी दिल्ली में था वैसे तो. और फिर बाद में कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव जो पीस एग्रीमेंट हुआ गिरिजा प्रसाद कोइराला गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से और एक रिवोल्यूशनरी की तरफ से मैंने सिग्नेचर करके कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव पीस एग्रीमेंट हुआ था. उसमें इंडिया का बहुत पॉजिटिव रोल था. एवरीबडी नो इट इज क्वाइट क्लियर, तो मुझे जब मैं सबसे बड़े पार्टी के नेता के रूप में उभर के आया, फिर कॉम्पिटिटिव पॉलिटिक्स में वोट के बैलेट के जरिए भी, नॉट ओनली थ्रू बुलेट बट ऑल्सो थ्रू बैलेट भी मैं सबसे बड़ा पार्टी बन के आया था. तो मुझे करना ये चाहिए था कि गिरिजा प्रसाद कोइराला को राष्ट्रपति बना करके अगर मैं प्रधानमंत्री होता तो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत पहले ही कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बैलेंस होता, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन भी बनता, पीस प्रोसेस भी आसानी से बहुत जल्दी एक रिजल्व होता. ऐसा मुझे लगता है कि वहाँ मेरी कहीं ना कहीं ये पॉलिटिक्स, ये कॉम्पिटिटिव पीसफुल पॉलिटिक्स में मेरी अनुभव की कमी के चलते वहाँ पे शॉर्ट कमिंग हुआ.
Sir, I can tell you, not many politicians are this honest as you are.